Hi everyone, and welcome to this presentation video for the game Colossus. So, what is Colossus, you may ask? Well, remember, in the Spirit of Eden, King Asmoth sent Gooms to destroy Eden, but Noah, with the help of his allies the fauna, flora, and water, succeeded in defeating the invaders. But King Asmoth has not yet said his last word. This time, he will send Og, a humongous and monstrous Colossus, to destroy Eden. Noah will now have to call on his most faithful warrior, Nitofa, to fight Og. In the box, you will find a rulebook and cards. Here's a quick description of the cards. This is the Nitofa card, the warrior facing the Colossus. Then we have two gauge tracking cards. The card on the right tracks the grip level on the Colossus. You start at the level 8. And the card on the left tracks the Colossus weakness. You start at the level 1. To get it, Nitofa will climb the Colossus, and during his ascent he will weaken it and try to stay gripped as long as possible. Once at the top, he will deal the final blow. Next we have the action cards, 3 final blow cards, 1 end of deck card, the advanced action cards, and the Colossus cards. All cards are shuffled in their separate decks. Out of the 3 final blow cards, we will draw one and place it face down under the Colossus deck. The other 2 final blow cards are set aside and returned to the box until the end of the game. The advanced actions deck and the actions deck need to be well shuffled. Then the end of deck card is placed under the actions deck. On each action cards are displayed 4 of different types of medallions. Each medallion represents an action. On the Colossus cards, you will find these medallions. Next to each medallion is displayed a value. Those are the Colossus stats that we will need to reach in order to carry out the corresponding actions. Here we have the Climb medallion, the Attack medallion, the Bonus medallion, and the Grip medallion. On some cards, the medallion is represented by itself. On other cards, a -1 is displayed below it, because it will have to be subtracted from the total instead of added. A game is played over an indefinite number of rounds. How is a round played? Our main goal, as mentioned, is to climb the Colossus, to reach the top and deal the final blow to take it down. The Colossus deck represents precisely this ascent. Each card you discard represents a new height at which you have reached on the Colossus. When the deck is depleted, we end up at the top of the Colossus. A round takes place in 4 steps. Step 1. You must draw an action card and place it in the playing area. This card cannot be moved. It remains in this position until the end of the round. Step 2. Draw 3 action cards. These cards make up your hand for the round. Step 3. You have to place your action cards in the best possible way to reach the stats of the visible Colossus card. To place an action card, there are 2 important rules to follow. Apart from these 2 rules, everything is permitted. The first rule dictates that the card must always be placed vertically and upright. That is to say, one cannot lay it horizontally or upside down. And the second rule dictates that the card must cover exactly 2 medallions when placed. Let's look at the stats of the Colossus card. The card tells us that to weaken the Colossus, we need 3 attack medallions. I want to clarify something important. When we will have all of our cards positioned, all visible medallions will be active medallions and all covered medallions will be inactive medallions. There will be an obvious benefit in hiding the negative medallions as often as possible to avoid counting their negative values. Coming back to the Colossus card, we will need 3 attack medallions to weaken the Colossus, 4 grip medallions so as not to lose a grip level, 4 bonus medallions to unlock an advanced action card, which are more powerful action cards, 3 climb medallions to move on to the next Colossus card. So, we're going to try to keep our grip. We'll need 4 grip medallions. This way, for example. Then, the last step, step 4, we check the statistics of the Colossus card. Our attack level is not high enough. The level of grip is reached and even exceeded, so our grip allows us to holding on tight to the Colossus. If we would have had sufficient attack medallion reaching the Colossus stat, we would have weakened it by lowering the card by 1 level, from 1 to 2 in this case. If we would not have had enough grip medallion, we would have lost 1 grip level, from 8 to 7 in this case. The grip levels acts as HP in a way, since losing the last grip level means falling from the Colossus and losing the battle. For the bonus medallions, we needed 4 and we do not have enough. Finally, Ascension medallions, we don't have any. We don't climb further to the next Colossus card. The round is now over. Let's discard all cards from the playing area and start a new round. Now I will tell you about some additional rules. Let's set a new round. On the Colossus cards, some stats display a crossed out rectangle. This means that each time we succeed such actions beside a crossed out rectangle, we may, at the end of the round, destroy an action card of our choice and return it to the box. If the action deck is reshuffled, the destroyed cards are not included. Another additional rule: when we are in a difficult round, Nitofa can use its power. It acts like a sacrifice. It allows us to reduce the Colossus's weakness by 1 level, or reduce Nitofa's grip by 1 level. For such sacrifice, we can draw an additional action card, but we will have to play it last. This power can only be used once per round. The end of deck card reminds us that when the action deck is depleted, we must lose either a level of weakness of the Colossus or a level of grip. Then the deck is reshuffled from the discard pile. Reaching the bonus stat of the Colossus card, we can draw an advanced action card and place it on the top of the action deck. That is to say, on the next round, the first card put on the table will be this advanced action card. Then we will draw 3 action cards as usual and play our hand. This advanced action card will then be discarded like the other action cards and will strengthen the action deck. There is indeed an obvious benefit in purifying the deck by destroying harmful cards, and to fill it back with more powerful cards. Once we reach the top of the Colossus, we must play the final blow. Let's imagine that we reach the top with a level 6 weakness of the Colossus and 3 in grip. For this last round, we take the final blow card that we selected at the beginning of the game and placed under the Colossus deck. We flip it and place it on the Nitofa card. This way, our endgame stats will provide us important information for the final blow. The first information is in the center of the card. It tells us that to succeed in dealing the final blow, we must have 5 attack medallions. The second information: we need a grip level equal to or greater than 3 medallions so as not falling from the Colossus during the final blow. Third and last information: the card on the left side now tells us the number of cards we can draw for the final blow. Here are 7 action cards. To prepare the final blow, we must shuffle the action discard pile with the current deck of action cards, then draw the first 7 cards. They become the final blow deck. To play the final blow, the mechanics are slightly different from the animal rounds. We draw and place only 1 card at a time. Draw 1, place 1, draw 1, place 1, and so on until the end of the final strike deck. It is not possible to use Nitofa's power during this last turn. Once the final blow deck depleted, we check the active medallions. If we have obtained the 5 attack medallions and 3 grip medallions, the final blow is successful. The Colossus is defeated. Congratulations, you won the game. Finally, before ending this video, I would like to share some exciting news. For all owners of the Spirit of Eden, there is a special game mode that will allow you to combine the 2 games and experience an epic battle where the Colossus will be in Eden as well. It will be crucial to prevent it from ravaging Eden, while Nitofa will be trying to defeat it. This game mode will be featured on the Kickstarter campaign page. Thank you all for watching. It was Ryan for Alone Editions, presenting Colossus, now on Kickstarter. I wish you well, and we will see you in the next one.